Are you considering a career change and you're confused about the difference between being an interior designer and an interior decorator? Well, if so, you're definitely not alone. Now, most people think that there's a clear distinction between interior designers and interior decorators here in the UK. But the truth of the matter is that actually we've imported American terminology without importing the context of that, and it's causing some confusion. So in this video, I'm explaining the real truth about interior design versus interior decorating in the UK so that you can stop second guessing yourself and make confident decisions about your career options. Now, I've spent a lot of time looking at government regulations, professional body guidelines, and comparing the UK market and the UK system with what's happening in America. And what I discovered might actually surprise you. So if you've ever felt overwhelmed by that conflicting advice about qualifications, job titles, or what you're actually allowed to call yourself, stay tuned because I'm going to explain it all. I'm Kate Hatherall, and here at the Interior Designers Hub, we teach people how to get qualified as interior designers and how to set up, grow, and run successful interior design businesses. And if you're thinking about training as an interior designer, then download our prospectus to find out more about it. So, should you be an interior designer or an interior decorator? And what actually are the differences? Well, here's the problem. Most of the confusion comes from across the pond. You see, in the USA, interior designer is actually a protected term in many states. Unless you have specific qualifications and licenses, you legally cannot call yourself an interior designer over there. And in fact, it's actually quite rigid. Interior designers handle the technical stuff like building codes and structural work, whilst interior decorators focus purely on the more aesthetic bits like cushions, curtains, accessories, and the styling of the place at the end. Now, you might be thinking, well, surely that's the same here in the UK. But what most people don't realise is that actually we don't have that same legal distinction at all. In fact, the term interior designer isn't protected here at all in the UK, which means that that rigid American definition simply doesn't apply to the British market. So our regulatory framework developed completely differently than in the US. We maintain professional standards through industry bodies and professional collaborations rather than government licensing. So where exactly does all this confusion come from? Well, it comes from social media, international design shows, and online content. We're constantly seeing American terminology being used without any explanation of the context behind it, and it can be really confusing. So here's the reality here in the UK. Interior designers are generally involved in both the technical and aesthetic aspects of interior spaces. A qualified interior designer here typically handles everything from space planning and technical drawings to colour schemes and furniture selection as well as procurement. Now, there are three key things that you need to understand. So first is that most qualified interior designers in the UK do it all. So they're not just limited to doing just technical work or just styling. Secondly, we do have some related roles that focus more on styling, so interior stylists and home stagers, for example, but these aren't quite the same as the American decorator distinction. And thirdly, what someone calls themselves often depends more on their business model and their target market than on rigid professional boundaries. Now, here's where it gets interesting for anyone considering any of those things as a career. So the question really isn't, should I be a designer or a decorator? It's what aspects of interior work excite you the most. So do you love the technical challenge? It might be that you enjoy space planning, understanding building regulations, creating technical drawings, and project managing renovations from start to finish. Or it might be that you're drawn to the styling side, so you might prefer focusing on furniture selection, colour coordination, and creating beautiful visual compositions. And again, some of you might want to do it all. The truth is that most interior designers in the UK do exactly that. They handle projects from the initial space planning right the way through to the final styling touches. And here's the important thing to know. With proper training, you can develop skills across all of these areas. Now, I've seen so many students start with one strength, but then go on to build expertise in other areas as their careers develop. So here's what I want you to do right now. If you are considering this as your career, then stop getting hung up on job titles that really don't apply to the British market anyway. Instead, think about the skills that you want to develop and the type of work that genuinely excites you. So if you're considering interior design as a career path, look for courses that cover both the technical and creative aspects. The industry recognises various qualification levels, but the key is ensuring that your chosen course is recognised by Ofqual, the UK regulator for qualifications, and that it provides practical, applicable skills for the UK market. Alright, so drop a comment and tell me, what aspect of interior design excites you the most? Are you most excited about the technical challenge or the creative styling? I'd love to know where your interests lie. And if you're ready to find out more about getting properly qualified as an interior designer in the UK, then grab our free prospectus for our government accredited level 3 diploma. You'll find the link in the comments below, and it will show you exactly what's involved in professional interior design training and how you can build a successful career in this exciting industry. And don't forget, if you've enjoyed this video, to subscribe. I share insider tips about the interior design industry every week, helping people just like you to navigate this exciting career path with confidence. So get your hands on it now, and I'll see you next time.